Thank you very much, and welcome back to this one aristocratic channel of ours. And this is MATRIC+NATED Specialist. Ensure that you are hitting the subscription button and ensure that you are sharing to those who are concerned. Today we'll be looking into anticipating geography, grade 10, paper 2. This is in regards with the examination that is going to take place now in November. So I'm saying grade 10, so I want you to pass, and I want you to in the examination. And please bear in mind that look the video up until to the end of the video so that it can have the significant results. 1.1, we are giving the statement, and in this statement, they are instructing us to say y next to you can write 1.1.8, which can be number x. So as you can see that we've got two columns, which are there, column A and column B. So in 1.1.1, the question, it says the numbers of deaths per 100,000 population per year. So we are saying that it is obviously that is a death rate because of the keyword death that are represented. So that is the letter Y. Then you are allocated a mark in 1.1.2. When we are moving on, the statement, it says the way people are spread out over an area, that is called number Y, which is a population distribution. When people distribute, they distribute according to the services that are offered, according to the jurisdiction of the area that they are exposed to. But population density, it talks about the people that are occupying or that they are clustered in a small area. That is what we need to understand between the two concepts. And then in 1.1.3, we are saying that the average numbers of years a person can be expected to live. So we are saying that is letter X, life expectancy. Bear in mind that between two genders, between female and male, we are saying that females, they are expected to live more than males in regards to the stress that they go within in their lives. Remember that according to the studies, we have seen that they also being exposed to too much smoking, the activities that they conduct, such as alcohol, they play a vital role in this scenario. And then if ever we are moving on, we are in 1.1.4, the movement of people from their home country to another country. It is called the emigration. Why are we saying emi? It derives from the word exit, but immigration, it is when they are coming in. So they are exiting there. Our look for the pasture or greener pastures, such as job opportunities and so on. And then if ever we are moving on in 1.1.5, we are saying that things in urban area that attract people to live their rural areas, we are saying push factors because of the winner in your area. It is because of there are also pull factors which can arise in a town or a city. In 1.1.6, the percentage of the total population, we are saying that the total numbers of population that can read actually and they can write, we are saying that both it is number X, which is the literacy rate. In 1.1.7, the declining in numbers of people living in rural areas, that is a depopulation. So we are saying that when an area depopulates, the young ones, they leave the country or they live where they are situated to go and work in urban areas. Then you get your 7 marks. If ever we are moving on again in 1.2, the statement, it says various options are provided as a possible answers to the following questions. Choose the next to the question number 1.2.1 to 1.2.8 in the answer book. For example, 1.2.9 D. Remember that when we are looking on this, we need to read this question thoroughly so that we can understand the concept better. All right, and then we are saying in 1.2.1, the geologist, the national convener, or the demographer. So we are saying the demographer. Why? Because of his studying the growth of the population, and we've got the sub workers, which they are called now the census. They are working in this company to determine the numbers of people that are living in a certain area. In 1.2.2, they say choose the correct statement to fit with the following sentence. Life choices that can help to increase life expectancy. So here we are asked, what is it that we can do during our lives to increase the life expectancy, meaning the numbers of years a person is expected to live. Number 1, eating alcohol abuse and smoking weed. That one, it is incorrect. If you are doing this, please stop. And then we are saying good medical care and exercise. That one is correct. So we are saying number 1 and number 3, they are correct up to this way. they're eating quarter every day. So we are saying that that is incorrect. So we are saying the correct answer is number 1 and number 3. Therefore, is letter A. You get your mark. Foreigners resulting in unwanted attacks to scare them in living. So this one is happening in South Africa. I've seen this whereby South Africans people, they don't want foreigners into their country. You find that they such abuse them to such an extent that sometimes they kill these people, and this is called xenophobia. So this one, it is an unlawful act. Can you please conduct ours? And then in 1.2.4, we are saying that the high death rate and high death rate result in a dash population growth. So whenever we are experiencing the high death rate and the high death rate in this result, we will be experiencing a zero population growth. So it means the numbers of people that are dying is equivalent to the numbers of people that are being born over a period of time. In 1.2.5, the dash of a country refers to the total numbers of babies that are born per 1,000 of the population per year. So we are saying that is a high. It means the growth is expected. 1.2.6, when skilled and highly educated people leave a country to work in another country, is called the brain drain. Why are we saying this is a brain drain? Because of you'd find that these people, they go and they work, they assist the government in their own state in the loss of their services. And then if we are moving on, in 1.2.7, unregistered and informal entry into a country, not through borders. So if ever you are coming in, you are coming from the other country and you are coming to South Africa, but when you are coming in unregistered, you are saying that this is an illegal immigration by crossing the borders of the other country without the knowledge and property, fled your country of origin for fear of persecution into another country. So that is number B. Then you get your mark there. All right. So remember that you are also taking the notes down. It is very important that you are also connecting others. Tell your friends and families, those that are concerned. All right. And then below, showing the population pyramid of South Africa, and answer the question. Remember that in our concept whereby I taught about population pyramid, I said at the bottom, you would see of the age is still down below par, but as the age is going up of people, you'd see that there's a lot of death rate this pyramid. All right. So what is important is that you must understand that on the y-axis we've got the ages of people, and then x-axis, these are the percentages in terms of the birth and their death rate. And then if ever we are moving on, we are in 1.3.1. It says define the concept population pyramid. So as you can see, I've tried to write on here on the board to say a population pyramid. It refers to the geographical representations and females in the present age group. In the present age group. All right. In 1.3.1, use the population pyramid to determine the following fields: age 25 to 29 years. So that is 47%. So we are saying 25 to 29. So this is the percentage. 25 to 29, the males, this is the percentage, 4.7%. Then you are writing this 4.7% because of the ages 25 to 29. And this is the male side, as you can see. Side, we've got the what? We've got the males. And then on our right-hand side, we've got the females. That is just an interpretation of the graph. All right. If ever we are moving on again, you can see that we've got a question in 1.3.3. Which gender lives longer in South Africa? It's females. Why are we saying that? Because of it is given on the graph. So we can see that basically on the graph, the females, they've got more life expectancy than you are allocated. Again, your marks. If we are moving on in 1.3.4, would classify South Africa as a developing or developed country. So we are saying that the concept there, that is right. Then in 1.3.5, provide one piece of evidence from the pyramid to support your answer. So we are saying that basically to support our answer, we are saying that as the years increases, living in this country, they become less. Why is that the case? Because of there is lack of facilities in terms of this medical facilities. there's lack of income per capita, and there are varieties of factors why is that the case in developing countries. But you'd find in the age of 90 to 100 still living there because of they've got now better equipment, they've got better facilities, their life expectancies it increased because of such. If we are moving on again in 1.3.6, the question it says differentiate between developing and developed country. So what is the difference between the two? You are allocated 2 marks for developing, and then you are allocated a mark for developed. So what is a developing country? It refers to a relatively low standard of living, underdeveloped industrial, and the low human development index. That is for 2 marks. And then while we are moving on again, we have the developed country. What is the developed country here? In this instance, we are saying it refers to a country with mature and sophisticated economy, usually measured by gross domestic product, what we call the GDP. Remember, you know that concept very, very, very well. All right. And then if ever we are moving on again, I would see that we've got the continuations of the questions in this instance, whereby we are saying now in 1.3.7 facts of overpopulation in a country such as South Africa. What is an overpopulation? We are saying this is the clustering of movement of people over a small scale of land. That is overpopulation. So we've got the reasons why people move from one country to the other country, but we know for sure it has now a negative impact. So we can see that number one, 1.3.7, overpopulation, it causes overexploitations of resources such as the land and the vegetation, and there will be too much congestion. That will be number two. It means traffic lands are shrinking. There are no more agricultural practices that are taking place, which will lead to food insecurity and unstable balance of our economy. Because of there are no factories and the production is less, municipal services will break down in terms of the revenue that can go to the municipality to supplement the services needed. Then let us talk about the waste disposal becomes a crisis, and there is unhealthy competition, conflicts, and war within the place, and which is not good at all. Then you get your marks there. In 1.4, we are given to say, study the figure below on the type of. So we are saying that according to this, we see that people, they would move to a country or an area where there's better employment, where there's better infrastructural area with elderly people. So that is the concept that is happening here. And if ever we are moving on, we would see that we've got 1.4.1 migration illustrated in the figure above. And then in 1.4.2, they say in 1.4.1, are they skilled or unskilled people? We want the type that is constructed. We can see that it is a migration that is constructed there. And then 1.4.1, we are saying there's an economic migration. People who are there, they are skilled workers. Then you get your mark for that. There is and they are also taking the mode of transport. It is indeed the aeroplane, which we know for sure that it is very expensive compared to other modes of transport. And you can see their way is working. It is in an industrial, the industries. So we are saying in 1.4.3, state one country, that's their job, and define the term migrant. 1.4.3, 1.4.4, migrant. They are going either to the United States of America, England, China, Dubai, and anyone. And then the migrant, it refers to a person who moves from one place to the other, especially to find work and better living conditions. So then you get, we are moving on again, and we can see that we are having some other questions. Here we are in 1.4.5, describe when they move from South Africa to the other country. And then lastly, it says in a why professionals are leaving South Africa. People who are qualified doctors. You remember that they count, right? So we are saying in 1.4.5, when people leave the country, they leave the job market or close, the unskilled workers being unemployed. Number one, in the paragraph of 8 marks, we are saying that there will be drop in a standard of education, there will be a drop or a decrease in a standard of health services, falling value of the rent, and there will be corruptions and maladministrations that they can occur. And then the concept that you have put it there. Okay. And then if ever we are moving on again, we can see that of our concept, probably one of our last question. But before we can even go, we need to read this insert below, the extract below, and we understand what is it entails about. All right. And then without wasting time, let us go and read with understanding. All right, here we are given the graph whereby we can read now the instinct here below. And remember that when we are reading, we must read with such understanding so that we can understand the concept even better. So in 1.5, we are given, they say, refer to the infographic below of the influx of the refugees in South Africa. Remember the terminology refugees? You need to go back and refer to the concept of 260 of the CR. So you can see this sample, it does in this nation in terms of their refugees on what they say 200 of Rwanda among they have read the band there in Rwanda during their integration of the legislation on what was happening in their parliament. So that led people, it left people, especially women and children with no camp and try to survive. Strength is because of their forced. It can happen at a caution floss in January 20 launched a project block long cases by 2024. So even now, it is still an ongoing process because of remember that some other people they have left without their documentation. So it's very difficult to even understand where they're coming from in terms of their origin. If we are moving to the last study, is growing, and UNH 94 people to return from Botswana and South Africa. Statelessness and strengthening partnership are also priorities in the region. Not quite ourselves right. And then if that we've got some other questions, which is now part of according countries from the North African communities and not in the refugees camp. Because of there's no refugees, the answers. All right. And if ever we are moving on, we can see that is Jordan, Somalia, Pakistan, Zimbabwe. Any one of that would result in a mark. So why South Africans, they don't go in this camp refugee policy? That it is the answer. We can see that in 1.5.3, how South Africa and how do they assist? They now assist. And this is because of more people are clustered. There is unemployment that is going on. And then there's crime rates, they keep on increasing. There's poor safety and security. There's hatred, which we call it xenophobia. And then how can this, number one, what is it that they can do? They can provide refugees with the shelter. Number two, help refugees to integrate into the new culture. Number three, provision of scholarship and education to refugees. Number five, offer refugees job opportunities. Number six, holding awareness and fundraising events. Number seven, donate clothes, foods, and etc. to refugees. And that can be the answers on how the government can intervene. And then if ever we are moving on to the last question, we need to understand the concept of now our last question, but let us zoom on so that we can see it properly. Okay, this is the last question, and it says 1.5.5, discuss how South Africa can benefit from the influx of refugees in the country. So how in South Africa, they are coming from other countries. How can they benefit from that? They are a source of cheap labor. They can work where they are told to work without even asking. Number two, refugees feel the skill gap. Some others, they know what is expected of them to do. They've got expertise in skill. and they sell goods in small, affordable quantities. And lastly, they sell goods to consumers on what? On credit. Thank you very much for your time. Good luck on your examination. I hope you tune on for more. Ask a question on our comment section. Good luck on your